Hello, everybody. Meet Tom, who has just graduated from our February 2023 classroom course in Perth in Scotland. Now, Tom, I know you're a man of integrity and you would not just blow smoke up anybody's you-know-what. So what can you say about the training? What feedback would you give?
Graduated, eh? Ha, no mortar board to chuck in the air at the end. Okay, I really hate being nice to people to their face, but it was an absolutely terrific course. Understanding the overall structure, the critical thing that was dinned into us, and having been involved in these things before, I knew a bit about, but not how to put it together as well. The timing of these things, which is absolutely vital. And I suspect so many people at ceremonies don't understand that. I liked the intensity of it because, while we'd had weeks and weeks and weeks to do the eulogy, we were being put on the spot with other bits and pieces, which I think is great because that mirrors, so far as you can, real life when you may have very, very little time to go. And having just received all that material that you sent, that is going to be absolutely invaluable, not to cut and paste, but just to give inspiration for opening remarks, moments of reflection, etc., all the component bits. So yeah, money well spent. And I don't know if all your courses are like that. It was also great fun.
It was great fun. They're not all like that. I mean, we usually, different groups coming together, different dynamics and things, but that was a great course. You're right, we had lots of fun. And as an ex-lawyer, and can I say this, we don't always think of lawyers as being, maybe we do think of them as being creative. Anyway, I don't think I do. But you brought a great deal of creativity to the course and to your final presentation. What advice, and that's something that a lot of celebrants, students and practicing, find quite challenging, to how to bring a character into a story. What tips would you give people for bringing creativity into their work?
Well, I would say ignore your typical lawyer because it's not particularly a trait. I've always enjoyed writing. I've always enjoyed being a bit creative. I go back to my time as a licensing lawyer. Very often, the arguments that you were making were about the same topic time and time and time and time again, to the same licensing boards time and time and time again. So for me, it really was important to try and dress them up in different ways because you're dealing with lay people, not lawyers, and to keep them on side to make it interesting was sometimes half the battle. These days, since I retired, I've been writing blogs, 120, 130 columns a year on broadly the same topics, food related. So again, you have to dress that up too. I remember years ago when I asked somebody or other who'd been doing these things for years for some advice, they said, you want some advice on writing? Just write.
Yeah.
You want advice on being creative? Get a few together. If it's not, I think your suggestion in one of the things, write stuff about your family or your friends or whatever. And if after you've done a few, you find you're using the same phrases time after time, well, beware. That's how ministers of religion, become boring as heck. So if it doesn't come naturally, just practice.
Just practice, you're absolutely right. Somebody once asked the author Stephen King, how do you become a writer? And he said, just write. And I think there's a lot of wisdom in that. Right. So do you feel prepared to go out into the world of celebrants and
very much so, very much so. I'm always a little bit trepidant on any techie issues, but I know the questions to ask, and as ever, just making sure that all the ducks are in a row before a single mourner comes through the door.
Great. And you know that I'm always here at the end of a phone or a Zoom call to chat things through with you.
You are truly wonderful.
Thank you so much, Tom. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, and I will speak to you soon.
Lovely. I'm going to switch the recording bit off just for a minute.
Yes.